So first, you want to start by warming up your oil. You can see the different colors of the oils. This is sunflower oil. Today I'm going to use sesame oil because it's winter and it's cold outside. So make sure your oil is in a glass jar, and then take warm water, not boiling water, but warm water, and let it sit in that for just a few moments. You want just enough that it gets warm, but not scalding. I've done that before. Now you're ready to do the Abhyanga. I always have a hard time balancing on the different pieces of bathroom furniture, but often I start standing, and you can do the same. You're gonna take your warm oil, start at the feet, and on the long parts of the body, like the foot and the shin and the thigh, you're gonna do long strokes. So you can start there, and then circular movements and motions at the joints. When you get up to the shin, you can go a little bit more long and strong. Stay gentle, and it's nice to repeat a mantra like, I love my shin. To the knee, I love my knee. The knees, you'll find, will absorb quite a bit of oil in the wintertime, and you'll keep going up. So you'll get long strokes on the thigh, circular movements around the butt. Anybody get cold butt in the wintertime? This will help. Make sure you rub lots of oil on, and the low back as well. You can do the other leg. And then when you come up to the belly, big circles around the belly. When you get to the breasts, especially for the ladies, some crisscross strokes. And then make sure you get underneath near the lungs. Shoulders will also need a lot of oil. And then your arms too, long strokes, circles at the joints. And when you get to the hands, make sure you get every single knuckle. Spend time on each finger. I love my hands. I love my fingers. It's going to feel so good. When you're done with the body, you might choose a light layer on the throat. I find this especially helpful in the winter time when this area is vulnerable. And then skip the face, but put a dot of oil on the crown of your head. There's a little soft spot there. It's a very important acupuncture point for longevity, and it's nice to keep that oiled and lubricated and protected. Then turn on your shower, let it get warm, so you're spending just a few minutes with the oil on. Get in the shower, and with warm water and soap, rinse everything off. When you get out of the shower, you don't need to use any moisturizers or any other things. You won't want to do that. In fact, you might find yourself using those kinds of products less and less as this becomes part of your regular routine. I recommend doing the Abhyanga at least once a week during the wintertime, and you'll start to feel when you need it. Your skin will feel different, your whole body will feel more dry and contracted. Of course, it's not all the oil, it's your whole lifestyle and your diet that also affect how you feel. But when thinking about how often to do the oils, I recommend start once a week. And if you find like, oh, you really need that nourishing hug or coat of armor that the Abhyanga gives you, then do it 2 or 3 times a week. You'll want to taper off towards the spring. And again, you'll start to feel the shift, and we can talk about this more when that time comes. But you'll start to feel the shift. You might need to change the oil to a less heavy oil or less warming oil. Usually just less heavy is fine. In the wintertime, I recommend sesame oil. You don't want to use the toasted stuff. I've done it before, but only in a moment of desperation. You will smell like an egg roll. So use the pure sesame oil. You can get it at most grocery stores. If it's food grade, then you can put it on your skin. Think about that. So if you're putting stuff on your skin that you wouldn't put in your mouth, something to think about. In the spring, you'll transition either to dry brushing, which means no oiling whatsoever, or a much lighter oil, depending on how you're feeling. And in the summer is when you can use coconut oil. If you're still using coconut oil and expecting your skin to stay nourished in the wintertime, don't be surprised if it feels dry or it's not doing its job. It's because coconut is cooling. Think about the environment where coconuts grow in the heat, right? So most environments produce things that help balance the qualities of that place, of that time, of that season. So coconuts are cooling, even though it feels oily, right? So there are different qualities to each oil. Try it. Let me know what you think. Please be careful when you get in the bathtub or the shower. If you do decide to oil the soles of your feet, just tread carefully. And I usually have a little Dr. Myers or Mrs. Myers spray nearby so I can wipe the basin and make sure that the next person doesn't wipe out when they get in the bathtub after me. If you're oiling your feet at night, you may not feel quite as much the need to oil the feet in the morning when you're doing your Abhyanga. So if you're doing the oiling of the feet every night, awesome, keep doing that, and then focus on the rest of the body when you're doing your Abhyanga session. Enjoy this time. It is nourishing and luxurious and soothing, and it's all an experiment. So give it a try and let me know your questions and what you think.